The war on drugs continued. America, we love our wars. We do. I've made fun of this. Again, it's the way that we're sold things here in this country. The politicians like it. The media loves it. We can have a war on poverty. We can have a war on crime. We can have a war on drugs. We can have a war on terror. We can have a war on climate. We can have wars on everything. That's how we're sold things here in the United States. We frame everything in terms of wars. I don't see it in other places. I really don't. It's kind of unique here to the United States. War on drugs. War on drugs. It's been going on for some time. How's that been working out? How's that been working out? And hey, listen, okay, I'm not one of those. Hey, I'm a libertarian guy, but yeah, do you think I like walking around the streets of New York City and smelling pot everywhere? No, I don't. I don't understand that, quite frankly. They don't allow you to walk down the street of Manhattan and chug vodka. Well, no, you can smoke pot wherever you want. I can't get my arms around some of the nonsense they're putting through. But anyway, I talked about the war on drugs for some time and the absolute failure that it's been. People talk about, well, we need more treatment, we need more of that. I'm sorry, we can't have cities where people are bent over on trank or whatever else they're on. You can't allow this nonsense to happen. And we do. I talked about this, and maybe I was a little flippant. Maybe I was a little flippant a couple of weeks ago when I was saying, but maybe not so much. I gotta be honest. If you were to poll Americans right now to ask them, big concerns with America, you think drugs are a big thing right now? I bet you barely even shows up on the frickin' radar. And I made a comment, one of the programs was talking about inflation and job numbers here in the United States. And I said, do you think Americans care about Trump blowing up boats in the Caribbean? I don't. And I actually had some points made by some of the listeners. They were not bad points. In the sense that, I've known people that have died because of drugs. I get that. But what I'm here to tell you, okay, if you think that you think those drug boats are carrying fentanyl, trank to the United States, they're not. Not a good business model. Not a good business model when you can just ship it from Mexico, because that's where it's made. It was funny. It was part of the one of the greatest television series of my period of all time. It's Breaking Bad. And, the Mexican cartels, they want it in, man. They want it in. They recognize how they show it. We don't have to bring all of this stuff up from Colombia and have it refined and grow it. I mean, there's costs involved with farming. Is there not? Now, there's precursors and whatnot for fentanyl, but do you ever see how small an area, square footage, it takes to make this crap? Not a lot. Again, you got Walter White there in Breaking Bad. He needed a hell of a lot more space to crank out the meth. Let's just leave it at that than you do for fentanyl. So it's cheaper to do it in Mexico. So we're watching these boats being blown up. Now, again, I'm a Rand Paul, Thomas Massey guy. I believe in the United States Constitution. However, President's got an end around. He's got George W. Bush had an end around. Barack Obama had an end around. Biden had an around. Trump's got an end around. You go back to, what is it? What's the year? I know the year 2001. Was it September 18th? I think September 18th, 2001, the authorization, use of force. Like the president can do whatever he wants when it comes to terror. Trump already called, going to war, terrorist organizations, so he can effectively bomb anybody. Heck, President of the United States could declare the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts, a terror organization, start bombing them. The Red Cross, Salvation Army, it's a terrorist. You can start bombing them, according to this. That's the problem. That's the problem, is that we decided We decided post 9/11 that, hey, everybody's scared. There's a terrorist under every bed, terrorist in every corner. Remember? Do you remember the little coded system with the colors, the threat levels that we'd get? You remember all that? Let's keep America scared. Boogeyman under it's everywhere. We got to be scared all the time. Take the Constitution, flush that crap down the toilet. And still, hey, 2025, the president still has that authorization to wage war on terror. Okay, so it's legal. Unfortunately, we as a society, at some point in time, have got to do something about this nonsense. We have to get back to the rules and laws that we're supposed to follow. Now, you might think it's fine. Blow up the cocaine boats, because that's what it is. It's cocaine. And we talked about this on the podcast. The cocaine making a comeback here in this country. However, the height of the cocaine epidemic was about 10,000 people that died. 10,000 people that died. Height crack cocaine epidemic. Again, that's not good. Okay, and again, I lived in New York, worked on Wall Street. Okay, saw a lot of it. Saw a lot of people that got addicted, had to go to rehab, saw people that used it, didn't. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. I don't know what it's like now. I'm not there now. What I do know is not fentanyl, and it's not trank. I said, cocaine's a hell of a drug. It's like the Dave Chappelle skit when he was doing Real Hollywood Stories there with Rick James. Funny skit. But that's not what's killing people. That's not, right now in this country, it's not cocaine. Okay? We know this. Where is it coming from, the fentanyl? Where's all this crap? It's coming from Mexico. Coming from Mexico. Again, a super corrupt country. We know. We know. And again, if you read the right papers, okay, and that means one's not just here from the United States, the type of carnage, the cartels, what the crap that they're involved with down there, the torturing of it's otherworldly, for crying out loud. But we do a lot of business with Mexico. We do. And president needs some wins when it comes to the war on drugs. He's getting some wins for some people. Okay? I get you're knocking out a drug boat. It's a win. However, again, shouldn't we at some point in time think of going back to the Constitution and the rule of law? You want to go after drug lords. You want to wage, fine. Do it the right way. Go to Congress and say, you know what? Enough with this. We're going after them. But then you know what? You got to be consistent. You got to go after those cartels in Mexico. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.